our little biscuits, haven't we? We're loving it, aren't we?
Cheers for that.
I think I can just sum up the station, can't I, Steve, with that just last comment?
I think you're probably right.
I just came in, I just sort of went to the toilet there, and, it's a disabled toilet that's close to it, so, you know, you go there, I had a wee, I thought, oh, the thing doesn't work, didn't flush, I came back and said, oh, the toilet doesn't work, doesn't flush, and, Carl went, no, you just stick your hand down and pull that wire up at the, think of that.
Put your hand in the water.
I mean, just when David Bowie, interviewed Zoe, and there's toilet's not flush, he goes, alright, baby, just stick your hand down, pop the shit down the U-bend, and just wipe your hands on your pants. Thanks very much. I mean, sums up this station, doesn't
Absolutely. Tin pot. Have you ever done this? This is one of my most embarrassing moments. Is you know, because sometimes you'll see.
What?
Well, you'll realise what I was going to say. What happened, Rick, was I almost leapt to the end of the story.
Right.
But I realised I had to go back a few steps.
Yeah. I just said, have you ever come?
Well, you stopped. It was going to be coming, but you'll understand in a minute when I finish the story that it's not coming in the traditional sense.
All right.
Because it's followed by coming out of.
Oh, sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So.
And not your trousers.
Not my trousers.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, now, awkward moment, and I should just, you know, if you're Christmas shopping, maybe you're in a big department store, and, you see the disabled toilet, and you think to yourself, I can nip in there, I can use that, you know, because it's close to hand, because I've got to wander miles for the regular toilets. I went in there once, in the toilet, you know, disabled toilet, just snuck in, came out, disabled person.
Furious.
That was, but it's really awkward, because it is like it's their sort of private domain, you know, it's like they're part of an exclusive club, they've not got many perks in life, and that's one of them, and here I was, you know, kind of exploiting it.
But they can't, well, yeah, I suppose they can be annoyed. But what did you do? Did you affect a limp?
You know, I normally do. I often do. I've affected a limp many times. Like, for instance, if I take the lift in a building when it's only one flight of stairs, right, and I get up on the first floor, I always affect a limp coming out, so that justifies why I haven't come up the stairs. Like, who is it that I'm scared is gonna sort of say something?
Yeah.
But,
oh dear, that's
it's the same thing as if someone asks me for directions, I always pretend I'm foreign. I always go, I don't.
Why do you do that?
I can't, because I'm just terrified of giving them the wrong directions. And
just now, I don't know, I don't live from it.
Because I'm sort of, you know, I feel bad. Because what I used to sort of give directions, because I like giving directions, I like helping people out. But then I realised I didn't really know.
You used to hang around going, you alright? Yeah, we're fine, yeah. Do you want to know where to go?
I tend to have a go even if I don't know.
Exactly. But I'm always terrified they'll come back and find you and go, you led us astray. Yeah. So I just affect a foreign accent.
There's a fella the other day, about 2 weeks ago, when I was walking in, little old woman, little old fella come up to me and said, where's Wimpole Street? So I said, I do know it. So I think it's over there. And then I'm not very good with street names, but I'm good that if you say, oh, there's a Boots on it. Right. Do you know what I mean? If there's something near it, it's like the same with directions when I used to drive a lot.
Yeah, or historical facts.
I don't know, like, old motorway names, you know, like, and this and that. I can never remember that, but my dad used to always say, right, there's a horse in the field, turn right, and stuff like that.
Good stuff, yeah.
And it's the same with this fella, he sort of said, you know, where's Wimpole Street? And I said, well, what are you after? And he said, I'm after some blood. And it was there's doctors around there, isn't they? So I was like, so that didn't help me.
What do you mean he was after some blood?
He said, I need some blood. He must have had an illness.
Bleeding?
No, he just must have needed some new blood or something. He had some illness. And I was like, you know,
why didn't he go to the pet shop and get some parrots?
No, but
like, he didn't have fangs and a cape, did he?
No, but do you know what I mean? Oh, that didn't help me out. But
what if he just said, well, some pile cream, actually? Can you go, we want Boots then?
Yeah, he would have been alright. But I didn't know where to start with that.
I need some blood.
Yeah, it's over there. Yeah, sort of pointed him away.
But so he was losing consciousness. You sent him the wrong way. He's dragging himself along the pavement. Is there blood this way? The gash is growing ever deeper.
Well, we've got to do Pilkington, haven't we?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay, we should explain this, I think.
Well, it's Carl's new idea for a TV show. He wants to do a TV show called Do We Need Him, where he goes round and he talks to experts like David Attenborough, David Bellamy, maybe Lenny Henry doing David Bellamy.
Right, yeah.
If he can't get the real one. And he just picks on an animal that he doesn't really like, doesn't think you need him, and an expert will tell him if we do, this is the first instalment.
Let me put a song on, right? Now we've got them, and then I can set it up and stuff and tell, you know, because
Explain it fully.
Explain it and that.
Let's do a classic. Let's do a big stomp in one of the best Christmas songs of all time, shall we? Edition.
Indeed.
Next week. We've had loads of suggestions, Carl, for your best bits. It's basically all your best bits. Me and Steve are largely irrelevant in the voting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can compile your best bits next week, and they'll be loving it. We had a request for the little Chinese fella in his pants, a horse in the house, cutting your hair on the railway station.
If you haven't heard those stories, what does that mean? The little Chinaman in your pants, you've got to be tuning in next week to find out what that is.
The only thing is, the older horse in the house was in the last best of.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't stop. What's his name? If you're one of those people that want to see these clips again, tune in.
Oh,
it'll be alright.
Christmas.
It'll be alright on the night 84.
Yeah.
Someone kill me. I think I'm going to live forever.
It's like we said before, who goes to the recording of one of those? There's always people in the audience.
Yeah.
Aren't there?
That would be great. Tickets for It'll Be Alright on the Night.
And they laugh at his jokes, but I mean, I don't know
I
what
think
the
how
jokes
many
are.
takes it, you know, I mean, how long it takes to record that. The show's about 3 hours, so the recording must be about 9.
Have you ever seen Kirsty's home videos on Sky One?
I think so. It's
Kirsty Gallagher.
dogs falling down slides.
It's like you've been framed, but
falling over in a wedding.
It's got audience laughter. But I'm assuming it can't be a real audience. I'm assuming it must be like
No, they've just
Flintstones.
lifted it from the Flintstones.
Yeah.
The laugh from the
A lot of
Flintstones.
people forget that the Flintstones had an audience. If you watch the Flintstones, there's laughter when Fred does something funny.
Yeah.
The idea of people being shipped in.
But we were talking
watch
about,
a cartoon.
I like the idea that some jokes weren't as funny as others. Like the director going, we'll put a laugh on that, and the producer going, it's not as funny.
I think Dino should get a round of applause every time he comes in. Everyone knows him. The kids love him.
We're making it up.
Yeah, and Barney getting disgruntled because his jokes never get decent.
Yeah, he's like wise.
Exactly. Yeah. Really wise.
Okay,
Anyway,
Carl,
so
here we go. It's an exciting feature that I think will be picked up by Channel 5. It's going to be Karl Pilkington, Do We Need Them? Where Karl goes around checking out animals with top experts, asking whether we need them in the world.
Yeah. So, this is the first one. We won't do it next week, but I'm already sorting out the contact. We will be looking at octopus, because they're a bit weird. Okay. So that's what you got to look forward to in 20, in 03.
Again, if you have an animal that you feel is unnecessary in the world, then email us, and I'm sure Karl will investigate for you.
Well, the other thing as well, whilst we're on to that, I want to sort of have a bit of research with me. So when I speak to the bloke or the woman about the octopus, right, I want,
you want to be armed with the facts.
Well, sort of response from listeners, so I can say, well, 70% of XFM listeners said we should get rid of them.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like Jon Snow does on Channel 4 when he does all, politics stuff. So, if you agree with me, just send an email saying yes.
So yes, we should get rid of them.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, get rid of them. Because the house believes always we should get rid of these animals. You're picking animals you want to get rid of. So yes is, get rid of them. No is, don't get rid of them.
Well, and not no, it's Noah, because they go on the Ark. The ones we keep go on the Ark.
That element I'd completely forgotten about, and I think that's a wise move, because I don't think that's working. I don't think you've thought through the whole Noah. So that's just complicating the show, I think.
So yes, we get rid of them. Noah, they're saved on the Ark.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so here we go then, jellyfish.
So today we're looking at jellyfish in Pilkington. I'm talking to Vicky, who works in an aquarium in Anglesey, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yes.
Right, brilliant. Today we want to find out if we really need jellyfish. I've got a bit of a problem with them anyway, because I've been stung by one, and I've done a little bit of research into them, so I'll tell you what I know about them.
Okay.
You might learn some stuff from me.
Oh, well, you never know.
And if I'm talking nonsense, just tell me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right, so first of all, they don't have eyes, do they?
No, they don't.
Right,
no.
so I'm right with that. No lungs.
No lungs.
They haven't got a heart.
No hearts, heartless.
And they're made up of 97% water.
Yes, they are.
So they're pretty useless, really.
Well, they have got a nervous system, They're actually about 650 million years old, so they've evolved and they've outlived the dinosaurs, and they're even older than the sharks, and they can even outfox us, because NASA scientists have worked with them to try and work out how they operate in weightlessness, and they still don't know how they do that. Took them into space actually to figure out how they did that.
Seems like a bit of a waste of money, but do you know Port Maddock? I used to go there a lot for my holidays, and there used to be a load of them washed up on the beach. People on motorbikes used to go over them and stuff.
Yeah. So, we get the moon jellyfish. That's the ones with they've got pink bits in the middle.
Yeah,
that's their reproductive bodies.
I think that was them. I think they're the ones who went over on the bike because you could see pink bits. What do they do? If the jellyfish went, would we have a problem on our hands, do you think?
Okay. You might have a bit of a knock-on effect, because things like turtles eat jellyfish.
Yeah, but do we need turtles?
Well, don't forget that when you take out something from the marine system, something normally feeds on. I mean, they're not just there for the fun of it. Something either feeds on it or feeds on what they excrete.
What you're saying is they exist to sort of feed others and also to eat some stuff that's in the sea.
They control the population of other fish and species that might otherwise be a problem. Okay,
well, let's kind of wrap this up, right? The question that I'm asking today is, do we need them? Say if Noah had his ark, right? You've swum and got on the boat, you're alright, you're safe, he's going to keep you to sort of populate the world as well. Right, so it's you and him. He's not a bad-looking fella, so you're happy.
Yeah.
He says to you, Vicky, do we need him?
Absolutely.
I don't even know why she even gave you that interview. When you start off with, right, trying to find out if I need you, but what did you tell her to get her to talk to you?
Just said I'm doing some research on stuff.
Did she think you were a schoolboy or something?
No, she just said, oh, alright. She said, how long will it go on? I said, not long, just like 5 minutes, have a quick chat. And she loved it, didn't she? She sounded happy to take part in that.
So the fact
I love the fact that you've got an expert and you suggest that she's going to be having sex with Noah. He's a good looking fella, so you're happy. She goes, yeah. I mean, I don't know why you stopped there, didn't go into positions or something. I can't believe...
The problem is, really, I didn't get to the bottom of what I wanted to say, because...
Oh, no, you did. That's it. That's done now. That's a pretty good academic work. That's proved,
No, but the turtle thing, when she said, oh, if you get rid of them, the turtles, won't have anything to eat. But when she said that, I mean, I couldn't say it because it would have took her off and confused her. But...
Well, she's a scientist. She's easily confused.
Well, say, like, when Suzanne is working, right... I'm not a very good cook, so I always get, like, an Indian in.
What? To do cooking for you?
So, right, I'll have an Indian. Right, now, say if, for some reason, it closed, I get a Chinese. So why don't the turtle just... There's loads of stuff in the sea. But I didn't want to get too heavy on her, but...
It's pretty deep.
Oh, that is genius.
But we'll look at...
But so the fact that she said, yes, you need jellyfish, does that mean that you've changed your... I mean, what I'm saying is, does her answer go? Does that stand?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
It does, does it?
It does, yeah. Whatever I get the expert to say, I try and get him in a corner.
Right, you try and, argue him into a corner.
Argue him into a corner, but that time she wasn't having any of it, so we've got to carry on having them.
Yeah.
So in the new year, we'll be looking at octopus.
Okay.
Yeah, great. Brilliant. Place and feeder. Karl with his Victoria Plum. I want to see a Victoria Plum. I want to know what it is. Does it look like a little gnome?
It's a woman gnome.
A female gnome?
Yeah.
A little gnome. Did your mum collect gnomes?
She likes anything gnomes, she likes fairies, she likes, Indians. She collects all that stuff. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what it is.
What do you mean?
Like a proper Indian with all the headgear on.
Or a Native American.
She likes anything with them on, like, it can be a fridge magnet, it can be, Just say
A lot of Native American wisdom is around the fridge magnet, because they think it has special powers of adhesion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, you read some of their writings, the great works. It reminds me, talking of gnomes, he said to me in the week, he went, "Oh, did you see that programme on telly last night about dwarves and fellas without legs nicking cars?" And I went, "No." He went, "Oh, it's amazing, right? Because they haven't got legs and that. They scoot along and they can nip into a car like the Dukes of Hazzard."
Explain more, Carl.
No, you see, I didn't see it. Someone else told me about it.
Oh!
That's what I said to you. I said, "Did you see it?" Because I missed it. And it's about these little fellas, who, specialise in car nicking. And the thing I wanted to know is, because this lad who sort of only watched half of it.
Is he like you?
Well, I said, I can understand how it's easy to get in, but then how do you get away? Because you can't reach the pedals.
Yeah.
Can there be two of them?
But presumably he opens the car for someone else.
What is it?
What do you mean?
What, so he's steering and he's like, right, press the brake a bit.
And then there's one that's just legs, but without the top half.
I don't understand how this helps them, though. Why does this make it easier for them to steal
Because they can
cars?
just get through the window really quickly, like in the Dukes of Hazzard.
Why?
Because their legs don't get in the way.
Right.
Do they just run? And just...
But what do you mean, the window? I mean, what? So someone's driving along...
No, I didn't see it.
And
This is
leaves
why
the
I'm
window
asking
open?
you. I didn't see
Do they
it.
leap in when there's someone still driving the car?
I don't know.
Well, there's too many things left unanswered here. I can't go
Well, maybe
over
someone's seen
Christmas
it and they
and
can
not know.
email in. But that's sort of...
This panicked you anyway, I imagine.
I bet you were gutted you missed that programme, weren't you?
Well, I'm interested in stuff like that. Because I like learning, which gets us on to educating Ricky.
Oh, excellent. Slick.
We've had a good year of stuff. Teaching
We have,
stuff.
yeah, I've learned a lot.
Can you remember any of the
Of course I
highlights?
can. There was a deaf girl and she hit her head and she could hear.
Yeah.
There was also some people who ate tomatoes thought they were poisonous on lead. There was also a doctor who gave a blood transfusion with some parrots from the pet store.
Yeah.
Because the doctor in America, and it was the olden days when the lines were bad, said give him his parents' blood, and the doctor this side thought said give him some parrot's blood. So that was true, and that educated me.
That was facts. What have you got for us?
Well, we've only got two, because I've taught you about jellyfish today, that we need them, so we've only got two things to go at, and I give them a little headline so you remember them, to make them snappy. The two headlines you've got, oh, what a catastrophe.
Okay.
And the second one is, well, you'd think it'd be Bughead, wouldn't you?
What?
Well, you'd think it'd be Bughead, wouldn't you?
You'd think it beat...
No, you'd think it'd be...
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be Buggered, wouldn't you?
Bughead.
Bughead.
This can't be... If this is anything with a bug living without a head, I'm not interested. Because we've done it. All you've done is
let's just do what a catastrophe.
So it is that. Do I do that one first?
Which one are we doing?
No, do the Bughead one.
Right, well, the Bughead one. Well, we've talked a lot about animals and that, haven't we, without heads.
Surprisingly, we have. I think a disproportionate amount on it.
If you're a new listener, and this is the first time you listen, you'll be surprised.
Yeah, we've done all that. We've covered worms, the way if you cut their head off it grows back if you don't cut too high above its neck. We've covered
the chicken,
the fella who blinked.
Yeah. I can't go into it again.
Right.
Let's not go into it again.
We've had the chicken with no head that lived for 8 months.
Yeah.
And we've had
cockroaches living for a week without an egg.
Right, okay.
Well, it's a bit more on the cockroach front, really.
Right.
They found, right, that if you get a cockroach and you cut its head off, right, and then you find a cockroach that's still got its head, but it hasn't got any legs. Right, it's not over for both of them, right? Because what you can do, you get the one that's got the legs, with no head, sort of running around, get the one with the head, sit it on top of it, get a little tube, so that the fluids...
So is this aunt is gone out of the room? Finish. This is like Blue Peter. You can get this for Christmas.
Right, you get a little tube, you sit that on top so the bodily fluids are still running between the two. The head of the one on the top will control the feet of the one on the bottom. What about that?
Good.
And will it continue to live?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know that for sure, do you?
That was just a question out of the blue he wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
It's good, yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's just a primitive nervous system that can, yeah.
Did you expect us to be more impressed and excited by that? Did you fall off your chair when you read that? Did you literally topple off? Going,
Did you
cartoon?
think you were going to be the Frankenstein of the insect world?
Yeah.
No, I just was thinking if they can do that,
With them, can they do it with humans?
Because I also did a bit of research
course
on.
you did.
Did you come to the sort of conclusion that apart from the moral aspect of it, that the human was probably more complicated than?
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Things move on, don't they? Do you know what I
Modern
mean?
science, Rick.
You know, I had Binatone as a kid. Now they've got PlayStation 2, and the difference in 10 years.
They
is
have
amazing.
found that if you lose your head, a cockroach can live normally on your body, but not the other way round. Your head on it cannot control its legs because it's too complicated
It's
for
too
your
confusing.
brain. So, yeah.
Well,
So,
then other research. Because I thought if you don't learn from that, I'll give you something else for free, right?
Go on.
Free.
That they can clone people. The only reason they don't do it, right? Say if like Ricky needed a lung, right? They could clone you and make you the same, but the only reason they don't want to do it is because it'd be a bit horrible, wouldn't it? So
and it would take sort of 18 years for me to get an adult lung.
And there's all kinds of moral implications.
yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? You hadn't thought of that?
Because lest we forget, Rick, he ended with the only reason they don't do it is because it's a bit horrible and that. Which scientist said that?
Right, let's leave
That's
that
a
then.
quote.
Right.
That's
Not it. That's not the other one.
That's it.
No, that was just, you know,
We've got another one to come.
Oh, I
Teach us
can't wait.
the headline again. What was the headline
the
again?
headline, oh, what a catastrophe.
Looking forward to that.
So happy that the XFM listeners understand his stupid clues, and he knows it annoys me.
We've got some right answers
we'll be
for
giving out the
Blockbusters.
answers just quickly, just in case someone sort of missed one of them. I'll just quickly do them, yeah?
Yeah, go on.
First one, there's a load
Your
of letters.
show.
There's a load of letters there asking for advice. Put them on Claire's desk.
Oh, and Merry Christmas.
Ask your mum if you should.
Oh, and Merry Christmas.
And a couple of people were arguing in the supermarket.
It was
at the fruit
Christmas,
and
that's
veg
why.
counter. And that's B.
Okay, we'll give those answers out shortly.
Yeah.
I just have to show you something, Rick, before we move on. I know we've got another Educating Ricky, but someone just sent this in. They've been looking on eBay for Victoria Plum.
You're joking?
Come here and see the photograph.
Oh, God, that's fantastic. Oh, yeah. Have a look.
That's it.
Oh, God, he got that for his mum.
It's the worst piece of tat I've ever seen.
Carl! Carl. Imagine how... Oh,
Gutted.
Carl. Imagine how... Look, think of him now, right? There it is. Oh, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. I'll tell you, it looks like a Diddy man gone wrong.
It's
it looks like
extraordinary.
a Diddy man prostitute. That is...
Is that the one, Carl? Is that...
Well, it was a different colour. It had a yellow at mine.
No, but look, how do they get... Tell them they
Okay,
go
so,
going to eBay.
So you need to log on to ebay.co.uk. I'm sure you've used it before. It's the online marketplace, ebay.co.uk. And if you type in Victoria Plum, I'm assuming that you can track this
yeah,
down.
That's amazing.
It's the worst piece of
Oh,
rubbish
just
I've ever
think
seen.
how cute he was as a kid, though, doing that. Just think of him, just going... just seeing that and thinking, oh, like, he likes gnomes! It's the worst thing I've ever seen!
I mean, to be fair, I mean, I don't know what her prize collection of gnomes looks like, but I can't imagine they're much better than that. I mean, gnomes are a fairly grotesque thing. But certainly your mum's taste and discretion is...
Did you have those houses on your estate, you'd go in there and it was just loads of those dolls still in their packaging all around the room? And sort of like, one of those homes that keeps the, sort of packaging on the three-piece suite.
Why don't you buy another one for her for Christmas?
Yeah.
It's $3.99. It looks like that's £2.49 because that was $3.99.
Well,
Oh, buy it, Carl.
because I've sorted out her passport this year anyway. I'll get her that next year. Right, so listen, right?
Okay.
So, that's Educating Ricky of the year.
Oh, Christ.
What a catastrophe.
Yeah, let's do that then. Victoria Plum.
There's this woman, right?
Yeah.
This woman, she's reading Guinness Book of Records,
Yeah.
and she's flicking through, and she notices that there's a world record for a cat, right, with 27 toes. Right? So she reads it and she thinks, well, that's not right. Because her cat's got 28.
What do you mean a cat's got 28?
Her cat's got 28 toes. So she was like, well, hang on a minute, mine should be in there. So there was
I missed the very beginning of this.
She's looking
for the Guinness Book of Records.
Woman was looking for the Guinness Book of Records.
The one with the cat with 28 toes looking through, and it said the record for the cat's toes was 27. She thought, hold on a minute, Ross McWhirter. My cat's got one more than that cat, so go on.
Anyway, so she said, the person doing the interview with her said, is it happy? And she said, yeah, it's great, and it's really good in the snow.
Right. It gets through a lot of nail varnish.
Well, that's what it said, right? It said it's really good in the snow. So, I just was thinking, that's it, really. That's not it. That's the end of that story. But
brilliant.
But what I'm thinking is, right...
It was two cats welded together.
No, she said, it's happy. So, is the other sort of disabilities where... in a way, it's not all bad.
Oh, Christ.
No, do you know, like, that book Steve brought in for me? And there was a fella there, wasn't he, who had 3 legs, who was a juggler. And I was like, what's the point of that?
What do you mean, what's the point of that? What's the point of what?
He's not taking advantage of having 3 legs, is he, being a juggler?
Yeah, he said he should be a footballer.
Right? So... No, but in a way, he's used it, hasn't he? He's probably not even that good at juggling. But because he's got 3 legs, people have gone, well, I'll give him a chance. Let's go and see him anyway, see if he's any good.
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm thinking is there anything else? We've mentioned, the midgets today who are good at robbing cars. Because they can get through the windows like Dukes of Hazzard.
Sorry, so listen. I'd just like to say, this is the Radio Authority listening, we are in no way suggesting that one midget's forte in life is robbing cars, or that if you're a midget sitting at home feeling sorry for something, you should go out robbing cars. I'd just like to say, this is Karl Pilkington talking.
The views of Karl Pilkington not necessarily reflect those of XFM or us.
Yeah. But it was a TV programme, so it's not me, I'm just saying what I've seen on telly.
That you didn't see?
That somebody told me about.
Yeah, just so you could be wrong, just like a lot of your spurious facts you just see on the internet. You know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else? We've seen the fellow with the 3 legs.
So what you're saying is there a disability that is actually an advantage?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Steve mentioned about the disabled loo. They're always really roomy and, like, got multi-gym facilities in them.
Multi-gym facilities!
Oh, do you know what I mean?
Multi-gym facilities! What do you mean, Karl?
There's always bars everywhere and that, isn't there?
That's not parallel bars.
Yeah,
that's
they do gymnastics!
What in there working out?
I'm just saying though, do you know what I mean? So in a way, they've got that. So always, what I'm saying is, when you look on the brighter side, it's like Elephant Man would have never got up and gone, oh, look at me hair today.
Nor do you.
No, but, do you know what I mean? He would never have that problem.
You're a maniac.
Forget it. I thought we'd be able to, like, get a serious discussion going here.
Well, okay then. So, this is a serious discussion, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's treat it sensitively then. If you really want a serious discussion and talk about whether there are some disabilities that are an advantage, let's think of some then, shall we?
Well, I've said 3 already.
Yeah, you can't say, if you're deaf, Bobby Davery won't annoy you. That doesn't count as an advantage. Do you understand? Do you know what I mean?
Carl's looking at you thinking, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we'll leave it then. I'll come up with a better feature for next year.
Oh.
We'll bin that.
Oh,
so, God. You've got any disabilities?
We've bin that like that was going to be a feature.
What, you were hoping that would be a spin-off feature? Disabilities are actually
it's another form of do we need them? It's like...
But that's Carl, think of it, it's like that joke. A bloke that, wakes up in hospital says, good news and bad news. Bad news is we've had to amputate both legs. What's the good news? The fellow in the next bed wants to buy your slippers. See, that's not an advantage. It's a joke. That doesn't really happen. People don't go, oh, that is good news. Yeah, I'll probably get a quid from him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But the fellow with 3 feet, what would he do?
Well, he'd buy a pair and then just nick one of those, because they put out one shoe, don't they? Are those, yeah, if you've got one leg, you can nick shoes. Good point,
right,
Karl.
Now I'm getting you thinking.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll do Rockbusters Answers next, then.
Happy Christmas, war's over and all that.
Indeed. Yeah. Brilliant tune.
Great tune. And
well, I've had a great time. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope we haven't offended you by some of Karl's rantings. Just think of what he's gone through in his life. That Victoria Plum incident.
Carl, I've got a little gift for you here before we go.
Oh, you're joking. I haven't got you anything.
Well, no, you haven't got your girlfriend anything. I wasn't expecting much. It's not exciting, but it's worth taking. In fact, why don't you just re-gift that straight away?
It's alright, cheers for that.
He hasn't even looked at it.
It's champagne.
That's not the champagne we got free from the BBC, is it?
It's not actually, no, Rick, because that is far too good for the likes of Carl.
Oh, right.
And I wasn't going to give it to you. You wouldn't appreciate it. That's just sparkling wine.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you didn't know.
I'm seeing Carl on Christmas Day, because he's around Christmas Day in London, so I'll get a little gift then, Carl.
Alright.
That'll be good, wouldn't it? It'll be a nice little...
Okay, answers. We must give the answers.
You would have to go to bed at 6, though, so we can play.
Right, here's the last clues of the year. You had, there's a load of letters there asking for advice. Put them on Claire's desk.
Go on,
that was
idea.
F. That was for foreigner. For Rainer.
I don't know what you mean.
Claire Rayner. She took advice. She gave people advice. So that's a foreigner.
That is shit.
Right.
I'm sorry. That may be Christmas. That is absolute stars.
A lot of people got the right answer.
I know. Well, that annoys me even more.
Number
The
2.
second one, ask your mum.
Foreigner.
Yeah.
Foreigner.
Second one, ask your mum if you should. That was S. That was Shalimar. Shalimar. Right?
No, bizarrely, what was the clue there?
Ask your mum if you should.
No, we got a lot of people saying Smashing Pumpkins as the answer to that. I don't know who's saying that to their mum. Smashing Pumpkins. Merry Christmas, Mum. Smashing
Thanks
Pumpkins.
very much. Nice bollocks.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Right.
Smashing Pumpkins. Your dad bought for me for Christmas.
Yeah.
And the last one,
Lovely plums. Well, my Victorians.
Oh, God.
right, we've got to wrap it up.
Come on, then.
A couple of people were arguing in the supermarket at the fruit and veg counter. That was B, that was banana drama. They were like having an argument.
What do you mean banana drama? What, no, wait. What group is banana drama? What group is banana drama?
So,
You're a fool. You're a twat.
Well, you say that, but you accuse Carl of that. You're also accusing lots of the listeners, including the winner, Nicola Rogers, of London, and she wins those great prizes, and she got them bang on, so...
Banana drama.
so can we finish there now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you mean? What do you mean? Can we finish there now?
Just play the ads and go.
What?
No, what are you talking about? We're going to play
You've been voting in all week, sending your emails, so here's the clips that you wanted. Karl Pilkington in the chair now. The talks about the acclaimed educating Ricky.
Right, well, just in case anyone's new, doesn't normally listen, basically, I'm educating Ricky. Do a bit of research in a week, find stuff, news, history, anything that's interesting. 3 stories, I give them a nice little headline. You take your pick. Between now and 3, you're going to learn 3 things. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, the headlines are, I'll be no buying one of them.
Give us that again.
I'll be no buying one of them.
Nice, okay.
Yeah. We've also got, Hippopotamus.
Okay.
And, can you believe it?
Can you believe it?
Well, I'm going to go with
Hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus?
Hippopotamus.
Right, well this one, it's, I'm not going to take the credit here. I heard Christian talking about this on breakfast, right, because it's a good story that happened. Basically, I don't know if I told you about it last week when we were having our spaghetti, but,
I think you did.
Right,
I know what it is. I know what this is.
Okay, I've not heard this.
right, there's a little midget. Right, there's a circus,
I'm loving it already.
circus going on somewhere, I think it was in America. And,
Is that present day or old times?
I'm talking like in the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
Right? Little midget, circus, really packed out show, people are loving it.
Right, Steve, you'll ask the same question I did, I know.
So there's a little midget jumping up and down on a trampoline.
What sort of circles is this?
Right?
Pay good money to see it.
So everyone's clapping and he's getting carried away.
Because he can't believe they're loving it. I didn't know they'd like a little person on a trampoline, but they love me.
But you know what it's like when, if there's a crowd of people sort of encouraging you to sort of go higher and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he knew it was getting out of hand. But he was jumping and he was coming down, they're all going higher, and he's going really high in the air, right? So he's doing this, crowd are clapping. there's a hippo, right, just sat next to the trampoline, getting ready to come on and do his act.
Oh, right, I thought he was in the audience.
That's it. Getting ready to do his act, Steve.
So
He's the ventriloquist.
What do you mean he's sitting by the trampoline waiting to do his act? Why does he sit in the dressing room and they go, 5 minutes, Mr. Muss, 5 minutes, Mr. Muss.
So anyway, right, so the hippo's there,
He's getting annoyed, is it, because the midget's
He's going, how can I follow this? How can I, this is really annoying. They're going to be, no.
so
he's thinking, he's already done the trampoline, my pogo stick out, he's never going to work.
Yeah, go on, so there's a hippo waiting. See, it's a great story, and I just know he embellishes it, or it gets slightly wrong. Go on.
So
there's a midget jumping up and down, the hippo's getting annoyed.
The crowd are going mad, the midget's loving it, can't believe his luck. Although you think, he probably knows he's dicing with danger.
Yeah. So, next thing you know, they're all saying hi, hi. He gives it one big, like, heavy sort of landing on the trampoline, goes really high, but goes off at a funny angle.
Oh.
Hypotenuse.
Okay.
Yeah. And sort of flies off.
Hypotenuse!
Sure.
Flies off at a funny angle.
Ooh, dear.
Hippo's there, swallows him whole. Crowd are clapping, thinking that's why the hippo was waiting there.
Rubbish. Rubbish.
It's not rubbish though.
But no, maybe there was an accident in a circus with a midget and a hippo, but at no point was this hippo waiting to go on, going, come on. The midget flew off at hypotenuse and landed in the hippo's mouth and was swallowed whole. This is what you embellish it. That is great. And what's
I have to say though, Rick, when I heard midget trampoline hippopotamus, I was thinking accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean,
it is that you should never put those three together.
Never.
It's a recipe for disaster. Everyone knows that. Midget trampoline hippopotamus. Are you mental?
You're asking for trouble.
Well,
you know when he told me it, he said, and the midget, he didn't mention the hippopotamus, and he said the midget went on, and soon he fell off, and the hippo ate him. And I said, sorry, what was the hippo doing there? He went, it's a circus.
I've never heard of a circus having a hippo.
What do hippos do?
What can they do? You can't train them, can you? Aren't they like very deadly? They're huge, aren't they?
You can't have a hippo in a circus. You're not thinking of Zippo.
Isn't he the clown?
Yeah. It wasn't some sort of where Zippo was eating a midget and it's some sort of horrible sexual act.
No, it was definitely, I heard it on breakfast, right?
Okay, sorry.
No, it's definitely fact.
Yeah, okay, right, okay, good. Well, let's play a record then. 4.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant. It's the best of. You've been voting in all week, sending your emails, so here's the clips that you wanted. Me and Carl went out, right? With me and Jane, Carl and Johnny and Gigi, wasn't it?
Gigi, is it important to win?
No.
Okay.
But we're walking on the street. Carl was there though, and he can back me up on this. We had a curry. We were walking back, and this little funny homeless fella, didn't he? He I got to tell it before I go, didn't he?
Yes.
He came up to me, right, and he recognised it, and he came up to me and he went, oh, he said, I've just nicked 5 of your DVDs from HMV, and he shook my hand. He was so happy with it, and I went, right, excellent. He went, all I do is I just swing the bag over the top, like that, when I'm going out, and he had a bag full of DVDs, didn't he? And he was so pleased to tell me that he'd stolen. That great.
He said they're going like hotcakes.
Yeah, he said they're going like, of course they are.
Yeah, you're nicking them.
I know. We get paid for them, though, don't we?
So not the stolen ones.
Don't we?
No. What do you mean? Did you sign them for him? I'm telling you, you idiot. What, so, he just nicked 5...
Yeah.
Well, you say he was homeless, was he?
Well, he don't know, maybe.
No.
Surely, how would he have seen the show? He just walked past Curry's one morning.
Dixon's. Yeah, the telly idea.
Seen a trailer for it, thought, interesting.
I don't know if he was homeless. I didn't go into his home life.
He shook his hand though,
but he made Carl look smart. Do you know what I mean? So, how does he sell them? Where does he sell them? Does he go to people and go, do you want an Office DVD? They're not nicked.
Yeah.
£4.
Yeah, exactly. Are these stolen?
No. They've still got the tags on them.
Well, it's like those people who, those cab drivers that you often meet at sort of 3 in the morning who've just got a car.
Yeah.
And just went out with a car.
Yeah.
And just, I'll pick people up and charge them.
Yeah.
I got in one once. I said to him, the guy just pulled up. I said, he said, I was in like East London. I'm going back to North London. I said, yeah, going to Swiss Cottage. He went, sure, hop in. We set off. He went, do you know the way? I said, well, not really, no. I thought you'd know the way. You're in a cab, aren't you? He went, no, don't really know the way there. I said, have you got an A to Z? He went, no. I thought, well, if you're going to go out just on the, just winging it as a cab driver, two things, take a map and a torch. He didn't have either. He said, well, I'll probably get to Camden. I said, right, I'll direct you from there. Drove on for about 5 minutes, making conversation. About 5 minutes later, he went, do you know the way to Camden? I thought you knew the way to Camden. I don't really know the way. I thought I did.
Oh.
It was
let me out. 4 quid.
Exactly. And that's, I don't know who's got that sort of time on their hands, that they just think, it's 3 in the morning, I'm at a loose end. I think I'll go out doing a bit of cabbing.
Wow. Yeah.
Because your dad was a cabbie, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah. Couldn't stand it, but it's good money.
He was he wasn't like a chancer though.
What was he doing when he put that little Forrest Gump in a wheelie bin?
That was part of the cab company thing. They had to do like a charity event once a year, and he did it 1 year. Never asked him again.
Tell us the story again.
No, I'd rather not, because we got a few sort of complaints about it.
Why? Why did you get complaints about it?
Because he put a kid in a bin, and it's not the thing to do. So,
but we could use it as a sort of sobering lesson for people.
Yeah, tell it like a, you shouldn't do it.
No, yeah, but that's how I did it last time, but people still didn't like it. All the stuff I tell you, we don't take the mickey out of people on purpose.
No.
It's real life, innit? And that goes on in life.
Yeah.
My dad was saying that in hospital, though. Do you know I was in hospital?
Yeah.
He did some jokes about old people and that, and he said at the end of the day, if something makes you laugh, it's funny. Do you know what I mean? So, what are you meant to do? And laughing's good for you.
Yeah.
So...
But being laughed at isn't as good for you, is it?
No, but there's probably more people laughing at one person, so if you balance it out, there's only one person who's upset and there's a bunch of people laughing. So, it's...
Jesus! Give me an example of that, give me an example.
Well, for instance, Karl Pilkington as he talks and the people listening.
Yeah, no, give me an example of like, so,
I can't, because again, that's what I'm saying, I can't tell you the story, because there might be someone out there who... This person might even be listening and think, I forgot about that and you brought it all back to me. So I'd prefer to leave it, but I think people know...
Why did he put him in the bin in the first place?
Because he was getting out of hand.
What was he doing, though?
You see, I can't explain.
You can't, don't be silly.
I prefer to leave it, honestly.
What was he doing? Was he annoying him?
He was annoying my dad and the other people in the cab.
Right.
And he thought, how can I deal with this before it gets too out of hand?
Yeah.
He pulled over and put the lad in a wheelie bin.
I'm gonna bet.
So we'll leave that.
Okay, 104.9. Ricky and I are on holiday. Obviously it's Christmas time, but Karl is here in the studio. He's pressing buttons. All right, Karl?
All right.
What do you make of the first genetically modified baby?
Oh.
Are you worried about this?
Do you know what did they do? What?
Let me see what it says here.
Isn't it just choosing the, eye colour?
Well, this is the concern, isn't it? That in the future you'll be able to decide whether it's a boy or a girl, how intelligent it is, what it looks like, is it handsome, is it ugly? Obviously, no one will choose an ugly baby, and so on and so on and so on. And so it means that where will it lead? Where will it end, Karl? Are you concerned?
I've thought about this a lot.
What will us three look like in the future if they're being, genetically modified beautiful people? What will we be like? How will we be considered in society?
True, yeah. But we've talked about this before, haven't we? About the cloning thing.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird. Yeah. But I don't think it matters, because at the end of the day, right, you might look like some other kid, but it's the way you've brought up that will change your features and the way you are, your personality.
If you lie, you get a long nose, don't you?
Well, no, but listen, right, because I remember when we, I was growing up on this estate.
This is going to be good. Go on.
No, it's not. It's just an example of how this doesn't work.
Go on.
So we don't need to worry, sort of thing.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
So I'm growing up on this estate, and there was this woman about 4 houses down, right? It's a bit rough. All right.
Didn't fancy her.
Oh God, no. Right, but she had a baby.
Well, tell me about her first. I'm interested in this woman. Why was she?
It was a very...
She looked like a man in a dress.
I mean, I didn't grow up in a posh house or anything. I'm not saying that if you live in a bit of a rough house, you're a bad person.
What did she look like?
But anyone can
tattoos?
Clean up.
Looked like Tony Green with a fag on.
They didn't clean up much, right?
Oh.
Which, even if you've not got a lot of money, you can still try and make the place look nice.
Yeah.
Right? But she didn't, and a kid used to take a horse into the house.
Sorry.
Whoa,
Whoa, Neddy. What do you mean a kid used to take a horse into the house? Where did he get a horse?
Must have nicked it from somewhere. Must have done.
You've seen a horse with it? No.
What, is that from outside the saloon round the corner?
Yeah, was it just tied up with a bit of...
Right?
Oh, that's great. Big Jake, come and looking for it.
I'd been out.
Oh. So let me get this. This was before the lynching stopped or after.
Where did he get a horse from? What do you mean he must have nicked it? His mum said, where'd you get that from? I bought it. Alright then, but keep it out of the kitchen.
I don't want you going cattling rustling.
Where did he get a horse from, Carl? And how long did he have it for? Was he leading it or riding it? Mum, open the door, I can't stop!
I can't stop it. Open the patio door as well.
Looks like we got us a runaway. What do you mean?
I don't know, but the thing is they couldn't afford to buy one because they're not cheap. So I'm just guessing. Maybe that's wrong of me. But I think...
He had a horse?
Yeah, right. So
that's why the family didn't have any money. They'd spend it on the horse.
No, I don't think, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they would have bought it. So anyway...
Yeah, it's wise to whisper, Carl, in case they're listening.
Yeah. And
they could be in the room next door.
It's not buying it, it's keeping it as well.
Oh. So I was like in the car with my dad coming into the avenue, and you used to have to drive down it to turn round. And, and, you know, sort of go back to our house.
You had the traditional method of transport. Yeah.
And, the horse was in the lounge.
Reading a paper.
Just like walking around.
Oh, God! What?
And when I was doing it, I tried to earn myself some money once by flogging little flowers in plastic cups.
What? This is genius. It just keeps coming. What do you mean you tried to flog little flowers? What do you mean?
Wait. Let's play a record. Let's play a record and come back to this. Because the story's going to just unravel and unravel. It's going to go for hours. Let's play a track,
deeper and deeper. It's like an onion, isn't it?
We've created a whole world here where there's a man living with a horse.
Just walking around the lounge.
I come from the West Country. I've never heard anything like that.
I just think of a big sort of like orange carpet and it's got a rediffusion telly and this horse going, I'm fed up in here.
Exactly.
This is really...
I am not taking the rubbish out again.
Yeah.
Right, play a record. Let's have Velvet Underground. We've got that lined up.
The
classic from the first album. I'm Waiting for the Man. Let's come back to the horse in a second.
Yeah, great track. So we were talking. We were doing White Van Man, and we got onto
genetically modified babies. But
and then Carl started telling a story about someone with a horse, and then he got onto he was trying to make money selling flowers. Just do the flowers briefly.
Well, hang on. I just want to recap slightly. So there was a family, and who had the horse in the family?
It was.
Because you lived on an estate in Manchester.
So the mother was a right pig, apparently.
Well,
I don't know if that's relevant.
You don't need to go that far.
But
what I'm trying to do is, like, make a picture for you so you understand
what she looked like. Who did she look like?
Bit of a, and no disrespect to her, bit like Pauline Quirk.
Quirky, yeah.
Alright?
Okay, I knew you were going to say that. I knew it was going to be Pauline. Did she have any tats?
I've never got that close to it.
Okay, alright.
So who had the horse? Was this her son or her husband?
No, her daughter.
Her daughter had stolen a horse.
Yeah, from, I don't know where, I think it was some stables down the road or something.
And they kept the horse in the house with them?
They kept it in the house.
Did they
didn't
get
have
caught?
it for long.
No.
Sorry, and you said you were in the house one day and you saw the horse in there?
What happened was, I was, they did this thing at school about raising money for charity, right? For some local charity. And they said you can do anything to raise money, and they came out with all these ideas, and I thought, that's good.
What was the charity?
Well, I don't know, I thought, forget the charity.
Yeah, that's just a good money making overweight. So, you're a charity.
So, so I asked my mum for some, cause she used to have a lot of flowers around the house.
Sure.
I said, can I just take some snippings off them? And, I'll go and buy some plastic cups. And, got some soil out of the garden, planted the bits of plants in them.
Yeah.
Got a tray.
Yeah.
Had about 25 plants on it, selling them for 25 pence each.
Excellent. Did you sell any?
Yeah, so loads.
So did you just cut, you didn't just cut them and stick them in the soil?
Yeah, they want to survive. But I think people sort of thought, well, good on him for trying. But anyway, so I went round to theirs, because I thought their house could do with a bit of colour and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit rough. So as I went...
The horse went, thank God for that breakfast. They were feeding me kitty cat.
So I got up to the door, and they opened the door, and it was one of them houses where... no carpet.
Yeah. A horse in the living room.
You know.
We've all been there.
And the horse was walking around the living room. Oh. I looked quite happy and everything, because I always say that about
Black Beauty was on. Yeah.
Well, think about it, right? If you were a horse, where would you rather be? In a little wooden hut with a load of hay, Or in like a house with a
Central heating.
3-piece suite, a telly and that.
Telly and that!
Because, no, but I was saying this the other day.
And an Atari.
Right? I was walking through London.
Commodore 64, rubbish.
Exactly.
Walking through London with Suzanne, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like homeless people always have dogs. And she
Yeah.
said, "Oh, I hope she looks after it." I said, that dog is happier than most dogs.
Right.
Because people always walk past and give it a pat on the head.
Yeah.
It's with its owner all the time.
Yeah.
It's out in the open. It's not locked up in a house.
Yeah.
It doesn't
You know what I
eat,
mean?
but other than that...
No, it does eat though. They're always alright. So that's what I was saying. I think this horse was doing alright for itself. Do you know?
Well, not many horses have got their own house.
Exactly.
For a start, yeah.
Well, anyway, that's
That's by the by.
Yeah, so anyway, this family is a bit, what were we talking about? It was about
Genetically
cloning.
modified kids
Yeah.
and all that stuff, yeah.
Right, now what I'm saying is, you could say, you know, right, Steve, you could have a baby, right? And Ricky could see it and say, God, I want one that looks like that.
Yeah.
Right?
It could happen, Rick.
So,
Come on, work with him.
so you take it to your doctors, and I don't know what they do, they inject it with something or whatever.
Yep, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
And get a little baby, and there it is, it looks the same. Now the thing is, you separate, you both go off and do your own things.
Yep.
Right? Now, you look at Stephen, you look after your baby.
Yeah.
You treat it well, you give it good food and
I'm a
that.
good dad.
All the vitamins and stuff.
Yeah.
Ricky just gives it cheese. Right? So then it changes its looks, it goes a bit fat. You know, it gets tired easily, and that sort of thing. Now, when this family...
Why am I just feeding a baby cheese?
Right, this family who had a horse in their house.
Yeah.
They had a little baby, and my mum went round and said, "You're not going to believe this, but it's a beautiful looking baby," right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know. And the weird thing is, it was a good-looking kid, but as time went on, they didn't really look after it. And I'm not saying like abusing it, but it used to run around. It used to play out till like 10 at night.
Yeah.
It used to chase cars.
Right.
It was a bit.
Did it have hooves?
Yeah, no. Chase cars!
Right.
What sort of kid chases cars? Oh, God.
No.
Was it called Rover? Did it catch stick?
It's Liam, it was called, right?
Right.
Now, the weird thing is, it was a good-looking kid, but as time went on, and all that, like, not eating properly, and its hair was all patchy.
It's not Liam Gallagher, is it?
And chasing cars and that, and it became an ugly kid.
It's definitely Liam Gallagher.
And that's what I'm saying, right? You can clone all you like, but at the end of the day, it's how you brought up.
Brilliant.
Wow. Life.
Wow.
That was a hell of a point.
Oh, God.
But am I right?
You're always right, Carl. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve and Carl. Carl, why have you got a headache? You got a headache?
Just a bit stressful because the moves on this week.
Are you moving house?
Oh, by the way, the XFM listeners came round to my house and bought the futon and table.
Did they?
Were they happy with it?
Quite normal. They were well happy.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe the luck with it.
What do you mean quite normal? What do you mean quite normal?
Well, it's always a bit scared, isn't it, getting people round.
I imagine they were scared.
Well,
And were they excited to see you? Could they were, could you tell that they were pretty pleased to see you?
no, I don't think so. I mean,
You're Karl Pilkington.
yeah, but the fellas sort of, they brought the whole family round, which was a bit odd.
Well, it's not often they get the chance to visit a living freak.
Anyway, no, they were nice. They were
And you're
nice.
moving now, yeah? He said he phoned me up today. It was absolutely tipping it down. Right? He had to cycle in. Right? Because he said, because of the move, he doesn't want to leave his bike round there. Right? And he said, and Suzanne, I can't say this in case he's listening, can I?
He won't know.
He said Suzanne's hired the oldest removal man in London.
You should hear him. And the thing is, right, we booked him because everyone else happened to be booked out, but this fella's free, right? So he called up this morning. I've never spoke to him, but he was on the phone. He sounded about 90.
Yeah.
Can't think that he's going to have to do all the work.
And the thing is, right, it seems to be
All he
cheap.
wanted some Werther originals.
Yeah.
Right, listen, it seemed to be cheap because it's £50 an hour. But how long is it going to take him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So-
genius.
When's the move on then? When's the
Oh, right, he's coming round. He came round today to bring some empty boxes, and he was struggling with them. So, it actually happens on Wednesday.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
I woke up this morning, yeah.
Feeling fine.
It's not a blues song. And, I turned my phone on, and it was from Karl, and it went, "Forget it, I've made my mind up." And I thought,
Wow.
what is that? And I
Forget
phoned him.
it, I've made my mind.
I went, "Karl, what is it?" He went, "Oh no, it's about the text I sent you last night." I went, "Well, what was it? I just got this text." He went, I was just wondering, I was thinking last night." He said, "Supposing you had to have your hands removed."
Sure.
Right? And the doctor said, "Well, you can either have them stay like that with stumps, or I can sew feet there. What would you have?" And I was bleary-eyed, and I went, "The stumps?" He went, "Yeah." I went, "Alright?" He went, "Yeah."
And then what was his follow-up text to that?
And then I got the text, it was obviously before it, and it went, and it was like quite serious. What would you do if someone's not doing your hands? Would you have stumps or the feet? Right? Now the way, when I said, he's made his mind up, and I went, "The stumps," he went, "Yeah." I think secretly he decided on the feet, but was too embarrassed to tell me.
There's a little bit of what would you do? Because
But why did you think of this? Why did you think of this?
Girlfriend's away, right?
Yeah, no, that's not why you start thinking bizarre
I'll tell
surgery
you now,
devices.
right? I'll let you into my little mind, right? Last night, I had some beans on toast, right? She was away.
It's good already.
She was away, she had some beans on toast, she went wild.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I was stood up, I live on like on a high street, right? So I'm washing up, I'm looking out the window. First thing that had my attention is, I can look into other people's flats, right?
Yeah.
And it was weird how all these different lives were going on, I was watching them, and everybody had the telly on and was watching Volcano, right, which was on last night.
Right.
And I thought, oh, that's weird, right? I can see them all watching it, and it was like a little Chinese lad who was dancing around in some underpants. And then there's a little old woman who lives downstairs who was reading a book, and she's always reading a book every night, and it's like, I have a better life than her. And then there's like some sort of bouncer who's always getting ready to go out late at night with all the black on. He looks like a bouncer. So I was watching all this life going on. I thought,
did you witness a murder while you were doing it?
Yeah.
It was like that sort of Sliver film where that bloke had loads of tellies watching people's lives. So that was going on in my mind. And then I was washing up, and I picked up the plate, and I thought, oh, it's amazing, isn't it? The human body, the way you can just sort of, you know, I want to pick that up, and you do.
Yes.
And the way your hands work, right? You've got 5 little digits, but it's just the right amount to do what to do what you've got to do, right? So I'm washing, I'm cleaning the plate.
Sorry, Karl, stop. It's just the right amount. Might be one of the most genius things I've ever heard said. I would love David Attenborough to phone you up and say, "Karl, how do I word this about the evolution of the mammalian front limb?" Just go, we'll just say it's the right amount.
But it is. One
of course
extra
it is.
would get in the way.
Yeah.
And one less would just make it a little bit more tricky when picking up a bit of a slippery dish.
Sure, or buying gloves. Yeah.
A slippery dish.
So then I was thinking, imagine like going to the doctors and he's saying, yeah, everything's alright, your heart's good and everything, but...
Your art's good? What, your Larry's, or...?
Yeah, your heart, you're in good form and whatever, yeah. It's good news, you know, I had Giano in earlier, he's not looking good.
Yeah. I had fastball there.
But you're alright, but your hands need to come off.
Right. Blimey. That's bad. Like, I'd get a second opinion initially.
But I better good news, I've got a nice pair of feet I can sort you out with.
Yeah.
And he puts them on, and then I was thinking, right, first of all, washing up, what would that be like? I thought,
Steve,
that'd be tricky. And then the second thing was, it'd probably ruin the sort of the shape of your jumper.
Because you have to keep putting the feet through there. Yeah.
And then I thought, but I could still cycle in.
Okay.
To work.
you could run in.
Well, that's the thing.
You'd be really fast.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I thought I could still cycle because I could balance, and then I thought, but the only thing is I probably couldn't pull the brakes. Because of the little short things.
Yeah.
And then, like you, I thought, but then again, you're running in half the time. So that's what was going on in last night.
Right.
That's what I was thinking about.
Did you
How
ever...
long did this take?
Well, how long does it take to wash up?
Right, because I imagine you just being there for, like, all night.
Probably 25 minutes.
How long did the little Chinese fella dance for in his pants?
He's always doing it. Last night he was at it for like 10 minutes.
Just, yeah.
And his girlfriend never sits in the same room as him. She's always sat in the bedroom.
She's going, you dance in pants again, I go in next door.
Well, she was in the bedroom. She's always in the bedroom, sat on the floor, on the mobile phone.
Right.
All the time, yeah. It's weird how people's lives are just like, it is like that Groundhog Day thing. It's like, he's jumping about in his underpants. The old woman sat there reading a book.
Yeah.
And that's what got me thinking about my life.
Do you think she ever
Are
goes...
you sure she's not dead? Every time you look down there, she's just flicking through it. She's just reading this book. The pages never turn. She never seems to finish it. She never moves from her chair.
Are you sure the Chinese
Her
girl's
cats
going...
are dead around her.
I'm going into next door again. That little round-headed fella's looking in. He's looking in at me. The bouncer goes, "Don't worry, love, I'll go and beat him up." But he's always getting ready.
That's true,
They see you staring at him, washing up, going, "I could have feet here," and they get scared. The woman's dead. Oh,
Carl,
dear.
can you tell us roughly which neighbourhood you live in, so that we know?
It's central.
Central, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, imagine if that little... Was he a Chinese fella, did you say?
Yeah.
Imagine if he was listening now. I'd love him to call in and explain his actions.
Well, he might be on some other radio station talking about a lad who's always washing up and looking at his hands in a mysterious way.
But do we have this doctor that would go, "Well, all right, Carl, you can either leave them as stumps, or I've got every little pair of feet." Why? I told Jane this, and Jane went, "Is that the only choice? Because they could have some dead man's hands." Have you got any? Where'd you get the feet from? Where'd you get the feet from? Can I have? What would you rather have then? Human feet or monkey paws?
Well, that wasn't an option last night. If the doctors said...
No, it wasn't an option last night, but don't forget, it's in your head, Carl. This didn't happen.
I'm just saying, at the time, that's all the doctor had to offer.
But it's your head, you can go anywhere. No, it wasn't a real doctor to offer. You're listening to the best of, basically, Karl Pilkington.
Right, you ready then? So, just in case you haven't heard it before, I'll give you some initials of a band or an artist.
We're not doing Rockbusters now, are we?
Yeah, I thought, well, we've just...
Oh, then we keep that going, then we got... Well, I love educating Ricky, that's my favourite thing now.
Well, what do you want to do, Steve?
Let's hear the clues.
It's just like he's sort of bigged up the prizes.
And so this is only by email. Give the email address out now for people to write it down now, Carl.
Right, it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Only entries on email.
Yeah.
You're going to get 3 clues. You've got to get them all right.
And you win all of
You win all those prizes we just said. Okay, Carl, go on then.
Right, and just a quick example, one of the first ones we did, it was like AK, and the clue was exploding pet, and it was atomic kitten, right? Yeah. So you understand how it works now. These are your clues. The first one, that army has got some nice trenches.
That army has got some nice trenches. Excellent.
Yeah. And the initials there are DW.
Do you write some of the questions for 15 to 1?
Go on.
So that army has got some
similar phrasing.
Trenches, okay.
Okay.
The second one.
What were the initials there, Carl, on that person?
DW.
DW.
Yeah. Right, the second one. The top of them curtains are all wrecked. All the materials all worn.
He acts it out though. We've got to get him on telly. We have got to get him on telly because his little face and his gestures.
That's the second one. The initials being HV. Okay, the top of those curtains are wrecked. All the materials all worn out. Right, HV. And the final one is the final clue. I was in Texas the other week. Right, I tripped and landed on my knees in a puddle.
What's the initials?
WH for that one. So I was in Texas, I tripped up, landed on my knees in a puddle. So that's WH.
Incredible.
You've got it!
Is it great?
It's fantastic!
Okay, tell me during the record, remember you're playing for these compilation albums. We got the Fatboy Slim DVD, Linda Green on VHS, and of course, Executive Decision, starring Kurt Russell as well.